Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Honorable lecture as speaking professional context, Mem Betty Sailun. Well, before I present my thesis proposal, let me introduce myself. My name is Rahmawati D.f. I'm from Class 3A English Education Department at the Islamic University of Riau. Chapter 1, Background of the Problems. Vocabulary is one of the important components that's sold to students in foreign language lessons. It's one of elements that's linked for such as speaking, reading, writing, and listening. Besides that, vocabulary is play important role developing for our skill. They are speaking, reading, writing, and listening. Next is setting of problems. There are some difficulties experienced by students in vocabulary mastery. The first teachers did not use media and interesting methods. It's the students were low motivations. Students find difficult to remember new vocabulary because English words have enough difference with the Indonesian word. They're still having difficulty getting a deeper understanding of the words. Its definitions of or meaning of word synonym, antonym, and class word. Most students only know the meaning of words from English to Indonesian. They do know the true meaning of the word synonym, antonym, and class word. And then the limitations of the problems. The research has to be limited to Quizlet to be students at SMN 1 Tualang. Quizlet is one of the media used to learn vocabulary, which Quizlet can be made as attractive as possible so students can learn English with enjoy and not feel boring. In addition, this media can make students know more about the new vocabulary that they can remember. Vocabulary indicators research focus on synonym and antonym. And then the formulation of the problems. The formulations of the problems based on the problems discussed on the background, the problem can be formulated. Is there any significant effect Quizlet-based collaborative learning on students' vocabulary mastery by at SMN 1 Tualang? Objective of the students. Objective of the research, the purpose, the research in find out whether there is or no an effect of the using Quizlet-based collaborative learning toward students' vocabulary mastery at SMN 1 Tualang. Hypothesis, there is no effect toward students' vocabulary mastery by using Quizlet-based collaborative learning for students at SMN 1 Tualang. The definitions of K term. One is vocabulary. Vocabulary, according to Mikhail 1009 and 19, vocabulary is the largest single component in each language. It can be concluded that vocabulary is the most important aspect in English that learns about the meaning word. 2, the effect is impact caused by an activity. Effective can also interpret results of a cause research. In effect, research in process change for the better SMN 1 Tualang. 3. Quizlet. Quizlet is a mobile and website study applications that allow students to study information via learning tools and games. In the research, Quizlet is media by writer to increase students' vocabulary mastery. And next slide is capture 2. The nature of vocabulary. is one of the most important elements in language. Vocabulary is the key to doing for skill, namely speaking, reading, listening, and writing. According to Neom and Dewier, 2009, vocabulary is a word that must be known for effective communications, which speaks as a language indicators and listens as a language recipients. And then kind of the vocabulary, there are several kinds of vocabularies based on experience. According to Nations 2001, Hassan 2070, they are shared for language skill, namely reading, writing, speaking, and listening. And there are two types of vocabulary, namely representative vocabulary and productive vocabulary. And then advance of vocabulary in language. Each skill has own advance. Likewise, with vocabulary learning, students also have advance. According to Al-Ghatani, 2002, stage the essential vocabulary teaching is important to be taught in the classroom because students who are outstanding are students who have a good vocabulary. And then next is teaching of vocabulary. Teaching of vocabulary, according to Sitompul 2030, said that vocabulary learning is learning that's considered the level of language proficiency in students to achieve students and activity flow vocabulary learning that occurs in classroom. And concept of Quizlet in today's technology age, teachers are required to be creative by creating a new and innovative atmosphere of learning. One applications for learning that use technology is Quizlet. According to Wikipedia, Quizlet is learning tool in developing online vocabulary. So Quizlet, a learning tool that's use the internet to use it. And then the last is the producer of Quizlet. The procedure of Quizlet is one of game applications which has many types. Quizlet in the form of cards, audio, learning, and test. Quizlet is very easy to use, can be used anywhere and anytime, following the producer for using Quizlet. In the chapter 3, the design of research. The design of research. This research is experimental research. According to Guy, the experimental research is one type of research that tests the hypothesis concerning cause and effect relationship. And then the locations and time of the research. This research was conducted at the SMN1 Tualang. The time of the research on July to September 2019. The locations that research is Jalan Pentalani Jaya, Tualang Sia. The populations of this study are first level students at SMN1 Tualang in the academic year 2018 until 2019. There are 214 students from 8 classes. According to Putra, population is collections of subject or of objects to be examined to these objects can be plants, animals, and humans. And then instrument to research to make data correct and reliable in study to instrument used in a test. Test is one way to get data in study. And research producers pre-test, treatment, post-test, data collections technique, and data analysis technique. And then the last slide is data collections technique. Data collection technique is study where the values of students' vocabulary skills obtained from the pre-test and post-test. And then data analysis technique to find out whether or there is effect on students' vocabulary skill using Quizlet. The data needs to be analyzed in from presence and the test. The test is used to find there are significant difference between its mean or sample group and average of the other sample groups. Okay, I think that's all I can say. My seminar, proposal thesis seminar. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.